And obviously, we knew Homelander was on the way because of Geisha's, whatever you call that thing,
Life alert.
life alert,
Life
that
alert,
she
yeah.
had on her neck. Yep, he used that as a tracker to go and find her. All right, The Boys Season 5, Episode 6 is finally out. We just got finished watching it. So far, I think this might be the best episode of the season so far.
You think?
Yeah, I think so. In my opinion, I really liked the pacing of it, and I really liked the ending. It's just as we kind of were thinking last week, this was going to be the episode where they finally get a hold of the
V1.
of the V1. And just as I predicted, I figured because the thing that they were trying to stop was Homelander from getting it, and Homelander got it at the end of the episode.
Yep.
Soldier Boy shockingly passed it over. So after he got it from bomb site. Couple twists and turns throughout this episode, a couple storylines that we thought were going to play out a certain way, but didn't. Like, for example, with Bomb Site, his reasoning for having the V1 isn't really what I think anybody thought. Yep, so obviously he was trying to give it to his girl Geisha, but so she could grow old with him, but she never wanted to take it because she didn't want to live forever. So that's why he was kind of safeguarding it, because he thought eventually he would end up giving it to her, so they could be together and live eternally together, I guess you could say. But she didn't want to take it, so that was the reason he had it. He ended up giving it over to Soldier Boy because Soldier Boy reversed his V1 for him. He fried the V out of his system,
That
and
power.
now he's not going to be able to live forever, so he can just live whatever time he has left with Geisha. So then he just handed it over in exchange for the V1. So what'd you guys think of the episode?
I thought it was pretty good. It looks like Sage kind of her plans were thrown off by
At the
Homelander
end.
getting the V1, and I didn't see her switching teams also. Like kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think after was the last episode where she revealed her plan, like it kind of she's all for herself. She's not really on anyone's side.
Yeah,
she really wants to
it's-
take Homelander out, but
Yeah.
she's really just wanting to do like her own thing.
She's almost like a anti-hero in a way, where she's kind of just looking out for herself. She's almost like a Loki type character where she's just looking out for only herself, and
Playing
she
both
kind of
sides.
plays both sides whenever it suits her. So obviously she doesn't want Homelander. She thinks Homelander's a maniac, and she doesn't want him to get the V1. So she kind of plays whatever side she needs to try and prevent that from happening.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah,
didn't
and
end up-
then it
again,
didn't.
I could see them just saying like it was her plan all along. Like she knew he was gonna get it. I don't know. They could still do that. Like we don't know her final
Yeah.
plan, but
I didn't expect her to work directly with Soldier Boy when she sent that text, kind of leading up to the final battle there with Bomb Site. She sent that text. I think she had said, "Do we have a deal?" And I didn't know who she was texting there because it didn't show it, obviously. But yeah, I didn't think it was going to be Soldier Boy in the moment. So when he showed up, and obviously we knew Homelander was on the way because of Geisha's, whatever you call that thing,
Life alert.
life alert,
Life
that
alert,
she had on her neck. Yep, he used that as a tracker to go and find her. I don't really know the whole relationship with Soldier Boy and Bomb Site. I guess they'll get into that more in Vault Rising. What's the reason they kind of hate each other? They dabbled on it a little bit in that conversation when they stopped fighting outside.
he was like, "You were always the perfect one," or like,
Yeah, you were always the one that everybody was kind of looking up to, and I was jealous of you because of that.
and Clara, like Stormfront.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
it brought her up a lot.
In the earlier seasons, when they had kind of brought up Soldier Boy and her and Clara's relationship, I thought it was just like somebody he had hooked up with at some random moment when they were calling her Lady Liberty. But it seems like they have a full-on relationship and they were completely in love. So I wonder.
It's a good and bad thing. I feel like they've done a lot of like setup for Vault Rising. Like almost every episode, it's been like
There's
something
bits
that's
and
like
pieces.
So it's like this is the final season of this show. Like
I know, I
don't
wanna
wanna spend
see-
so much time. Yeah, like setting up
Exactly.
that.
Yep.
Well, I like
That's-
little bits and pieces like to get excited for that show.
Yep.
But I feel like they're doing a lot.
Yeah,
like
it's
the
like more
last
their-
battle there was all
it's-
this them.
It's like almost in certain moments, instead of wrapping up certain storylines or giving us like certain payoffs in certain ways, they're just setting things up for Vault Rising for future projects. That you kind of saw that in the final season of Stranger Things. There was like things they were tying in from like the play, and they were setting up future spin-off shows in certain scenes, and it was kind of like I want them to wrap up what's going on here or give us more beneficial payoffs. But I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully that show's good. But yeah, they're definitely spending some time there planting some seeds for what's going to happen.
The whole Deep and Black Noir
Yep.
thing.
Finally
Yeah.
ended.
Deep killing him. I didn't expect him to kill him right there.
Yeah, everybody was it was pretty obvious that they were leading to a fight between the two of them. That's been tension that's been building the whole season. So obviously we knew that fight was coming. I didn't expect it to be like that. I thought it was going to be a full I thought it was
fight
going to be
back
like
and forth.
Soldier Boy and Bomb Site, where it was a whole moment of a
Yeah.
fight, but no, it was just the deep, obviously getting the news of the
Oil spill. And,
the oil spill that killed all of his friends, killed the whole, killed like 1.4 billion fish, I think he said, or was it 1.4 million?
billion.
Billion
I
fish,
think.
yeah. Yep, he just ended up wrapping that cord around his neck and killing
And then
him.
taking his knife.
Taking his own knife and stabbing him in the throat, yeah. And
Wasn't Homelander supposed to like heal him? So it kind of ruins that whole plan
Yeah,
too.
I don't know
yeah.
if that still like was the plan.
Yeah.
That probably was because
Yeah, that
they
one
were talking
thing.
about a Homelander like at that church with Starlight and Huey. So yeah, that probably was.
yeah, yep. I forgot about that plan, but yeah, that ruins that now that he was gonna go up on stage and it was gonna seem like Homelander was
Heal
like
him.
God. He was gonna heal him and
He could fly.
enable him to talk and enable him
Talk,
to
yeah,
fly.
too.
Yep. So
Yeah, I'm curious where the Deep's gonna go because he was like, oh God, oh God. Then he like ran out of that room.
Yeah.
I feel like he's just gonna not disappear, but I don't know. I feel like I could just see him like leaving.
yeah, I honestly didn't expect that reaction from the Deep. I thought he was gonna be I don't know. I thought he was gonna be a little bit more inconsiderate after killing him. Like he was just gonna kind of walk away, like not really care. But it seemed like he was almost freaking out, like, oh my God, what did I just do?
Yeah.
So yeah, he was almost panicking a little bit, which is something that we haven't really seen too much from him because he's more comedic relief. But it seemed like that was a serious moment where he almost felt regret after he did it. Like he was just caught up in the moment. So we'll see what happens with him and how his story ends.
Yeah,
I don't know if they'll end up killing him off or if he'll just have a
like
point
disappear.
where he walks away. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like just how he's been this entire time. I feel like they gotta kill him off just because.
Yeah, he's definitely he's definitely not
I don't think he deserves like a good ending.
yeah, no, me either. And I don't think they'll just leave it as a loose end where he goes into hiding.
Yeah, just
so I feel
leaves.
like he'll probably die in some sort of way. I don't know how that's gonna pan out, but
Yeah, then like back to like the finale part of the episode. Yeah, we were just like, "Where's Homelander?" Because we knew he was on his way. Then if he ended up arriving the last second after he gave him bomb site, gave Soldier Boy that V1. But yep, I didn't expect Soldier Boy just to hand it over.
yeah, yeah, and again, that was kind of a twist I didn't see coming because even Homelander didn't see that coming when he said like, "But you hate me. Why would you give me the V1?" Because I was almost thinking that when Soldier Boy was asking to get it from Bomb Site, he was like, "I'll exchange, frying the V out of your blood to remove your powers in exchange for the V1." And I was thinking in the moment, like, what does he even want the V1 for? If he doesn't want Homelander to get it, is it just he takes it himself?
Yeah.
Not that he uses it because he doesn't need to, but does he
Yeah.
take it and destroy it just so Homelander can't get it? Because I thought there was no way he'd ever give it to Homelander, but he said that's what that was a twist I didn't see coming, that's what Clara would have wanted, Stormfront. And it does kind of tie into the earlier seasons when Stormfront first revealed herself as being a Nazi and who she really was and her true identity to Homelander, that she said he was like the perfect hero that Frederick Vought would have wanted.
Yep.
So yeah, that he was like the perfect specimen of the soups. So yeah, he was like, that's what Clara would have wanted, and he gave him the V1. So
Yeah, then it was interesting how Sage did look like blindsided by that. Like at the end,
Oh,
she was
100%,
like,
yeah, she
like,
did.
That's impossible. Or like
Yep.
she was like,
yeah,
Yeah.
and because I think she thought her and Soldier Boy came to an agreement that he wasn't going to hand it over to Homelander. He was going to come there and get it from Bomb Site.
like,
I think
destroy
she
it or
thought like, oh, Bomb Site, he'll fight Bomb Site for me. He'll take the V1 and then he'll destroy it or get rid of it or whatever their plan was to not let Homelander get it.
yeah.
So
Bombsight's got to be pretty up there power wise because like he whipped around Kamiko and Butcher too.
Yeah,
He, like,
and he
threw
was-
him and
and he was kind of holding his own against Soldier Boy up until the point where they got outside.
Yeah.
He flew him and Soldier Boy outside, and it seemed like he was handling him up to that point.
yeah. So yeah, because Butcher wrapped him up one time in those tentacles and he just like grabbed and still ripped him around.
Just whiplashed Butcher real quick.
Yeah, like Butcher with like with Victoria Newman, just
Yeah.
ripped her in half, and she looked pretty powerful too. So
Yep.
I'm not really sure the power structure, but
Yeah, I didn't expect Bombsight to be that powerful, but
we noticed too. Like, did you watch Stranger Things season 4?
Yep.
Yep, he was that jock like in Stranger
yeah.
Things.
yeah, that had Lucas at
Fought
gunpoint
Lucas.
at the
Yeah.
season 4 finale. Yeah,
Yeah, we noticed that. Right, that was funny.
yeah, I haven't seen that actor in anything else until
Yeah.
this.
He looks younger, but
Yep.
he looks a little older now, obviously. But yeah, I bet we'll see him in that Bot Rising show.
We didn't see any Orion in this episode.
Yeah, no Ryan. I noticed that.
Yeah, we haven't seen Ryan in a
And
few
where's
episodes.
the Gen V people? Like Marie, is she gonna pop up at all? I feel like now it's just gonna be weird if she does.
Yeah,
it's just
because
gonna
we
be
only
like
got
she's just
two.
hopping in.
We only got 2 episodes left. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I don't expect them to give them that big of a moment where any of those people would pop up
Yeah.
in the finale.
Yeah, I know. I don't
Yes,
know.
so I'm not sure.
Yeah, because that end of Gen V, they kind of set up like Starlight join the resistance, or A-Train said that, and they were like, we're ready. They have mentioned her a few times, saying like she's doing missions somewhere else or whatever. So I'm not really sure, but that's kind of interesting. I didn't think she would not be in there at all.
Especially after in Gen V, how they tied characters like Homelander in season 1 and Starlight in season 2. And
Stan Edgar
Stan Edgar was in there a
said
lot.
she was just as powerful as Homelander. Like, her and him are like the top 2.
Yeah, Marie Moreau. Yeah. Yeah, so I definitely expect them to play a bigger part in this final season, but it doesn't look like they are.
Showing up.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows if they'll even show up at this point. One thing we should probably touch on is the whole Starlight and Kimiko angle of them not wanting to take
V1.
the V1.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to live forever. They don't want to see Frenchie and Huey grow old and pass away and they're just
by themselves.
Yeah, they're alone. So, and then that kind of obviously tied into the whole bomb site storyline of what's going on there. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if Starlight and Kimiko are just going to die off. They said they were willing to, take the sacrifice because that's what Huey and Frenchie want. So they're willing to take the V1 if they get it. But I don't even know. Is there even more V1 now?
Doesn't
that
sound like
it looked like it was just that one, unless bomb site had extra that he didn't bring with him. He had that one syringe and Homelander took it.
And
So
that like pouch too, or that like container.
yeah, that little case.
I'm wondering too, because remember Sage at the beginning of the episodes, like, I can't figure out how to like create V1. I feel like she can.
Yeah.
She just wasn't like.
And Homelander kind of called her bluff there when he said, "You got to be smarter than Frederick Vaughn."
Yeah, and she kind of like stood there for a second.
Yeah.
But yeah. I feel like she can, but yeah, she doesn't want him to get V1, obviously.
Also, like, I was kind of surprised to see that Huey had that virus so quickly because they didn't really show the progress of them making it.
Well, they did say, yeah, like, it's ready or whatever, but yeah, I was surprised he was going to, like, release it right there.
Yep. Well, he was going to do it to save Starlight. Yep.
There's Oh Father.
Oh, Father. Yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty interesting scene. That was a funny little back and forth on the stage.
Yeah. Then obviously at the beginning too with the legend, like that.
Oh, yeah,
play, Paul Reiser. Yeah, he's been in a few things, but
Yeah, he was in Stranger Things also.
Yep. Then he was in last season? No, that was like season 3 because it was around like the Hero-gasm he was in. But yeah, he was pretty funny. I'm surprised Homelander let him go.
Yeah,
Like,
I kind of saw that coming after. It was like Homelander's shock reaction when he patted Homelander on the back.
He's like,
and
"You're
he
not
was
scared?"
Yeah, and he was like, "You're not scared of me?" He kind of, had a vulnerable moment there where it seemed like he almost liked him or had some respect for him because he wasn't scared of him, because I think Homelander wants to Homelander's whole angle is he just wants to be like loved and cared about, and he doesn't necessarily want to be feared. So when people aren't scared of him, I think that kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
Plays
It's like
to him in
same
a
with
way.
Stan Edgar. Like Stan's not afraid of him, but he keeps him alive.
At all. Yeah. Yep. So I think he's got some level of respect for Stan Edgar, and he keeps him alive for that reason, because he's just not afraid of him at all. Because I think Homelander's big thing is he just wants to be cared about.
Any theories on next episode or last two episodes here?
Man, I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know how it's all going to end here.
I have no idea.
I don't know if Homelander's going to get killed or if they're going to depower him.
They showed in a lot of promo the White House, like in being so that's got to be in the next episode or finale,
Right.
Like, Homelander in the White House and stuff. So I feel
Yeah.
like that's got to be coming around. We'll see if Ryan comes back around. He's got to show up again. So
Yeah, when was the last time we saw Ryan? Was that end of episode 4?
yeah, one of those.
Or no, it was it beginning of 4? Was it the one where, because
Didn't he wake up?
He was kind of getting nursed back to health by Butcher and them, and then he just got up and snuck off.
Yep,
So
and then
yeah,
that
we
was
haven't seen Ryan in a minute. I feel like Ryan will show up in a big moment to fight Homelander. I feel like he'll show up in some sort of final battle. He'll pop up out of nowhere, and he'll be kind of like the equalizer in the battle, because I think he's more powerful than.
It's gonna be interesting because is it gonna be like Ryan and Butcher versus like Soldier Boy and Homelander? Like that could
Yeah,
be.
I think Ryan could be like a powerful equalizer for them in that final battle versus Homelander. So we'll see what happens. And he'll definitely want his revenge on Homelander after that beatdown he got at the end of was that episode 3?
Yeah, 2 or 3, one of those.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys, that is going to do it for our review of The Boys Season 5, Episode 6. If you guys enjoyed it, leave a like down below and also leave a comment letting us know what you guys thought about the episode. Come back next week for our review of Episode 7. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.